Welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Colin Murdy, and today's topic is the next big mistake. First off, everyone, we are back to the short form podcasts for a little while. Thanks to everyone who's listened to the long form episodes. We've got the 3 episodes that we ended up doing that were about 45 minutes to an hour each, and it's been interesting. They've got significantly higher listenership, I guess, for those, and I really liked doing them. They were very time consuming and stressful and all other good stuff, but I enjoy them a lot, so we may do it again in the future. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to get back on a schedule of doing some short form podcasts to keep you guys updated on what's been going on, because we've seen some amazing changes over the last 2 months. So I'm going to get back into that. First, thanks to everyone who's supported the company so far. If you haven't got a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's MURDY creative.co. Or you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching at murdycreative.co to see the best of our product shots. Follow us to keep up to date with our daily photos and be the first one to know about new product launches. You can also use the subscribe button at the bottom of our website to be included in all of our new product announcements. Be sure to check out our laser engraving, personalization options, and exclusive colors on the website, or you can get a blank one on Amazon Prime. All right, so first things first, I think we're going to post this one to YouTube, actually. I'm still going to figure it all out and everything, but I want to start posting the podcasts to YouTube because I think it helps make it more personal. And for those of you who have been good listeners of the podcast, I think that it's good to have a face to go with the story and to be able to kind of see it happen. And I might be demoing things a little bit, which you might miss a little of the audio. So if you're not interested at all, go check us out on YouTube, Murdy Creative Co, and you can subscribe to our channel. We'll get you updates. I want to turn that platform into something more than just a place where we put demo videos and some of the cool promo videos that we've been working on. So I want it to become more of a conversation and a community there as well. And we have such an awesome Instagram community, and I'm working on trying to build our other communities as well. So if you go follow us on Snapchat, by the way, I've been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff on Snapchat. Those people got some of the information about the flash sale before anybody else did. And there's other things that you can be can benefit you if you're a Snapchat user. We also have our Twitter. You should go check us out on Twitter, Murdy Creative Co, Murdy Creative Co. And I like to tweet more. It's a little more personal for me. Kind of our Instagram platform has kind of blown up into almost 60,000 followers now, and so there's a lot of what's the word? There's a certain look and feel and professionalism that people have come to expect on our Instagram, and so now Twitter is my place to talk through kind of some details, and I've got some stuff and questions out there. So if you're a Twitter user, go check us out on Twitter. But anyway, we've got a lot that's happened over the last 2 months. It's been a big slice of humble pie for me a couple of times in a row, and we've been on our last leg a couple of times, and that's been something that I've had to struggle with because, we had month after month after month of 20% growth. Nothing seemed to stop us, and we kind of got into a little bit of trouble there in the meantime. There was a little bit where I think there's a couple of times now where not a couple. There's been more than one, but not more than 5 times where we've ended up getting down to less than $1,000 in the company account, and we have got some debt that we've been kind of trying to work my way through and solve and take care of that stuff. So that's come along, and it's when you're in that position, it's like it really hones your attention, right? It's like being a scared animal, with the deer in headlights. It either freeze, which is not good, or it provides you with the kind of a moment where you're like, all right, I have to be on my A game. Everything I do matters. Every decision I make is important. And that is stressful. I'm gonna be just completely honest. It is incredibly stressful to be in that state all the time. And so I'm hoping to be able to solve that a little bit over the course of the next couple of months. I'm hoping we can build up a little bit of a nest egg. It's all businesses go through a down season. There's an up season and a down season. It's not just all sunshine and rainbows all the time, right? You don't just continuously go up and up and up unless you're Apple, and that's a different story entirely. But that's where you've got to be able to, as a company, create structures, safety nets, things like that in place that can help capture and support you in the times that you are a little bit lower. And I thought summer was honestly going to be a big time for us. Wedding season, graduation gifts, travel journals. I thought it was going to be big. I really did. And I was wrong. That was a mistake on my part. That was one of many mistakes. And that was difficult for us. And so we ended up, what's the right way to say it? We ended up bringing on some help early in May, And we needed help, right? We needed production help. We've had a lot of that growth. We'd been small and nimble, and it was just Leah and Sarah and I for a long time. And then, to be honest, we needed the help. So we brought on Meryl, who was our production lead now, and she's helping run things and manage them. And that's been really helpful to have the extra hands. And we actually have 2 part-time people who have been super helpful, and they come in a couple hours a week and just kind of help do assembly. And it's been good to have that, because I think now our production capability is really getting to a point where we can keep up. And that's why our lead times have been so low. And that also coupled with some lower sales that I've been trying to solve. But I've been, so in May, we brought on a couple of different entities, both an internal employee that was probably a step too far. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it was probably a step too far. And at the same time, we brought on outside assistants to do some help with content. And that was, for better or worse, because there was definitely better parts to it, it was a little bit too much for us. Now, if we had grown at the same rate we'd been growing month over month up until that point, right? If we had hit the same growth numbers, wouldn't have been a problem at all. In fact, if we would have hit the growth numbers that we've been expecting over the last 2 months, we would be just fine, but we didn't. And you have to deal with that. And so, unfortunately, we had to let that person go. And that was hard. That was a hard time for me, because I've never had to fire someone like in that situation where they're a full-time person, and we just got ahead of ourselves. And unfortunately, when you're a really small team and you've got a when you're a small team in a difficult time, it really becomes very important to evaluate exactly how much value everyone is bringing to the team. And I would say, for those of you who are looking to join a startup, the thing that you can do to ensure some level of job security is make yourself indispensable. And sometimes that means that you have to become an expert in things that you didn't know you needed to be an expert in. Sometimes it means you've got to be the one that stays late or works extra or does the difficult things. But the challenge is when you're a small company, and if difficult times come, and they will, there comes a time when you have to look around the room and say, okay, we can't get rid of some people, and we have to get rid of others. And you want to be the kind of people that they can't get rid of. And that is difficult, but it's worth it. Take my word for it. So be that person. Go do the extra thing. Do the extra mile. Make yourself so invaluable and so useful that it's impossible to get rid of you. And that's the funny thing is, if you do that, the company will likely grow. Because if everybody in the team is doing absolutely everything they can to help the company grow, you'll be amazed at how much progress can be done. So I think that was a mistake on my part, and I should have been more cognizant of what I was doing and not brought that person on. And it's a mistake. It was a mistake, and it wasn't the only mistake I made in May. That was a mistake, but I made a much bigger mistake financially in that same world, and so that put us behind the ball a little bit financially, and we're still recovering from that. And that's why I've actually been really against doing discounts and coupons, because what it does is it makes people think your product is cheaper than it really is, right? If we say, okay, well, I'm going to give a 10% discount for 12 hours as a flash sale like I did the other day, people are like, oh, well, I'll just wait for the next coupon, rather than realizing that the reason I did that is because we're going to go out of business if I didn't. And so it's not something that, and so that's where I'm afraid of using coupons, and I don't want to use discount coupons, because we can't survive with our product regularly being lower priced. We won't exist if we keep our product regularly lower priced. And then people, if you start using coupons, people wait for the next coupon. They want to, and I think, a classic example of this is Kohl's, right? Kohl's, when was the last time you bought anything at Kohl's that was full price? Nobody buys anything from Kohl's at full price. And so that's been something that has been, structured for us. Is when I started the company, I didn't price the products high enough to justify doing discounts. And I should have. If in hindsight, what I would tell myself if I was go back is charge 20% more on your products. That way you can give 20% discounts and people will be okay with that and you can survive. But so for us, we've had to do things that I didn't want to do necessarily to keep us afloat. And for those of you who've been holding out, waiting for the right time to buy a product, there is no better time like the present. So please go buy product. It helps us continue on, and we've got a lot we're trying to do to help make things a little more simple for us and to help reach broader audiences. and do big website redesigns, and I'll talk about that again in the next podcast. And it's definitely the kind of thing where it really matters and it really means a lot to us, and we appreciate your support. But yeah, it's I've had to eat a lot of humble pie the last 2 months and realize that it's not always going to be, race to the top growth. So, all right, folks, thanks for tuning in today. Please check back in Thursday for our next topic. We're doing the podcast Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's my hope. That's my plan. So check back in then and hit that subscribe button below to be sure to get the latest podcast right away. If you have any questions or concerns about your leather binder, please feel free to contact us on the main page of our website at Murdy Creative Co, or you can contact us via our Instagram and Facebook. Don't contact us on Facebook. I don't look that as much as I should. Do Instagram. I'm actually pretty good about our Instagram. You can text, email, call, direct message, all the usuals, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible, but I appreciate your patience. If you think I deserve it, a good review can go a long way to help us grow our new community. And word of mouth is still the best form of advertising, so please tell your friends. You can leave us a review on Facebook for general product company things, but also leave a review of the podcast because that helps bring more people into our podcast community. If you want to hear more about different podcast topics, send them my way. I'm always happy to engage with our growing community. I want to give you guys what you want. If you're looking for multiple binders for gifts, giveaways, menus, really any reason, ask about our bulk discounts available. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.